is quiet now. I lost to far. The room is quiet now, but your name still sounds loud. You closed the door so gently, like nothing ever broke. Said we'd both be better, but I was barely whole. Your shadow stayed behind me when your body walked away. I kept all the moments you didn't wanna say. You let go with your hands clean, I stayed holding the blame. I loved you after goodbye, after the tears ran dry, when you were already somewhere, learning how not to cry. I loved you in the silence you left me living in. You stopped choosing us, but I never stopped choosing you again. Your words still live in echoes in corners of my mind. I replay every promise like I'm searching for a sign. You said love shouldn't hurt this much, so you walked out the pain. But I stayed inside the feeling, hoping you'd come back the same. You healed by letting go, I broke by staying true. I loved you after goodbye, when your heart had moved on. I was learning how to miss you while pretending I was strong. I loved you when it ended, when there was nothing to do. You found your way forward, I stayed loving you. Maybe love isn't forever, maybe it's just to stay. When the future disappears and you're trapped in yesterday. If loving you was losing, then I lost honestly, because even in the ending you were everything to me. I loved you after goodbye, when your name still felt like home. You were already forgetting, I was learning how to be alone. I loved you without answers, without a reason why. You left before the ending, I stayed after goodbye. The room is quiet now, but my heart still knows your sound. The room is quiet now, but your name still sounds loud. You closed the door so gently, like nothing ever broke. Said we'd both be better, but I was barely whole. Your shadow stayed behind me when your body walked away. I kept all the moments you didn't wanna save. You let go with your hands clean, I stayed holding the blame. I loved you after goodbye, after the tears ran dry, when you were already somewhere, learning loved you in the silence you left me living in. You stopped choosing us, but I never stopped choosing you again. Your words still live in echoes in corners of my mind. I replay every promise like I'm searching for a sign. You said love shouldn't hurt this much, so you walked out the pain. But I stayed inside the feeling, hoping you come back the same. You healed by letting go. I broke by staying true. I loved you after goodbye, when your heart had moved on. I was learning how to miss you while pretending I was strong. I loved you when it ended, when there was nothing to do. You found your way forward, I stayed loving you. Oh, maybe love isn't forever, maybe it's just who stays. When the future disappears and you're trapped in yesterday. If loving you was losing, then I lost honestly. Because even in the ending, you were everything to me. I loved you after goodbye, when your name still felt like home. You were already forgetting, I was learning how to be alone. I loved you without answers, without a reason why. You left before the ending. I stayed after goodbye. The room is quiet now, but my heart still knows your sound. I never said it out loud, but I felt it every day. I loved you in the pauses, in the moments in between, in the way I watched you talking when you thought I wasn't listening. I memorized your patterns, the rhythm of your breath. I learned your fears by heart, but never crossed the step. I held it like a secret I was scared to let unfold. I loved you quietly, never asked for more. Stood in the background while you walked towards someone else's door. I didn't need you to stay, didn't need you to see. I loved you honestly, just quietly. I showed up when you needed, left before it showed. I smiled through the moments where my heart said no. I never blamed you for it, you never led me on. Some loves are meant to live unseen and fade before they're gone. I chose silence over heartbreak, thought it was safer that way. I loved you quietly, without a claim. I carried on in your name. I didn't need your promise, didn't need a sign. I loved you honestly, in a quiet kind of time. Maybe love doesn't always need a witness. Maybe it doesn't need a sound. Maybe some hearts are meant to hold it and gently set it down. I don't regret the way I felt, even if you never knew. It still meant something to me, loving you. I loved you quietly, and I still let go. I kept the best of what we were and let the rest just go. I don't need you to remember, don't need history. I loved you honestly, just quietly, just quietly. Some loves aren't meant to be spoken, just felt. The door was open, but I stayed. I packed my doubts in cardboard boxes, left them stacked by the wall. I told myself I'd walk away, but I never moved at all. Your name still lives in quiet places, in the spaces I don't fill. Every step I planned on taking stayed frozen in my will. I thought time would teach me distance, but it only taught me why. I never learned to leave, I only learned to wait. I memorized your footsteps like they'd still come back someday. Every goodbye felt borrowed, every ending incomplete. I never learned to leave, I just learned how to bleed. Your jacket's still my weather when the nights turn cold. I keep telling different stories, but they all get old. I watch the world keep moving like it knows what to do, but every road I try to follow leads me back to you. If loving you was easy, letting go was never fair. I never learned to leave, I only learned your shape. I fit my heart around the space you vacated. I say I'm getting stronger, but the truth still disagrees. I never learned to leave, you never really left me. Maybe some hearts aren't built for closure, maybe some doors don't close. Maybe love is staying longer than you're supposed to. If you ever wonder why I still feel 17, it's 'cause part of me stayed back where you last looked at me. I never learned to leave, I only learned your name. I whisper it in empty rooms like it's not in vain. If moving on is bravery, then I missed that lesson too. I never learned to leave, I stayed loving you. The door was open, I just didn't know how to walk through. The rain falls quietly, but I feel it all. I walk beneath the gray sky, every droplet echoes your name. Streets are empty like my heart. Since you left, nothing's the same. I reach for your memory, but it's lost in the storm. Every step I take feels cold and forlorn. I hear the rain speak in whispers only I can feel. Silent rain falling down, washing the love we found. Every tear, every drop reminds me you're not around. Silent rain, hear my plea, carry my heart to where you'll be. I'm standing here in the silent rain, missing you. I remember our laughter mixing with summer rain. Now every quiet moment brings nothing but pain. The sky cries softly like I've never heard, and I chase the echoes of every whispered word. The world is wet and gray, but I can't wash you away. Silent rain falling down, washing the love we found. Every tear, every drop reminds me you're not around. Silent rain, hear my plea, carry my heart to where you'll be. I'm standing here in the silent rain, missing you. Maybe rain is a memory of what we used to be, a gentle reminder that love still lives in me. Silent rain falling down, washing the love we found. Every tear, every drop reminds me you're not around. Silent rain, hear my plea, carry my heart to where you'll be. I'm standing here in the silent rain, missing you. The rain falls quietly, but I feel it all. The clock keeps breathing, I stay awake. The street outside is silent, lights flicker on and off. I check my phone again, knowing nothing will unlock. Every minute feels heavier than the one before. I tell myself I'm fine, but I'm standing by the door. I said I'd stop waiting. but here I am, still waiting at midnight. Like you might change your mind. Every sound feels like footsteps, every shadow looks like mine. I should let go of hope, but it's holding on tight. I'm still waiting at midnight for a sign. Your name stays on my screen, like it never learned to fade. I replay our last words, every promise we made. The world keeps moving, but my heart stands still. Some goodbyes don't end, they just quietly chill. I know you're not coming, but I stay. Still waiting at midnight, like you might change your mind. Every sound feels like footsteps, every shadow looks like mine. I should let go of hope, but it's holding on tight. I'm still waiting at midnight for a sign. Maybe waiting is my way of saying I still care. Maybe love doesn't leave, it just learns to stare at the dark and call it home. Still waiting at midnight, even though I know time doesn't rewind and hearts don't follow. I turn off the lights, but I don't sleep tonight. Still waiting at midnight, one last time. The clock keeps breathing, and so do I. The clock kept moving, but I stayed still. I kept believing every maybe you said, like hope was a habit I couldn't forget. You were halfway leaving, even when you were near. And I kept forgiving what you never made clear. I watched the love thin out and called it patience. I stayed too long, and what wasn't right held on to shadows. Every lonely night you were already gone. Before you moved on, I should have known. I stayed too long. I learned your silence like it was a language, translated the distance into something I could manage. I made excuses for the way you changed, called it a phase while I carried the weight. You let go slowly, I held on tight. I stayed too long, waiting for proof that love could survive. clock kept moving. Now I finally do. The clock kept moving, but I stayed still. I kept believing every maybe you said, like hope was a habit I couldn't forget. You were halfway leaving, even when you were near.
And I kept forgiving what you never made clear. I watched the love thin out and called it patience. I stayed too long in what wasn't right, held on to shadows every lonely night. You were already gone before you moved on. I should have known I stayed too long. I learned your silence like it was a language, translated the distance into something I could manage. I made excuses for the way you changed, called it a phase while I carried the weight. You let go slowly, I held on tight. I stayed too long, waiting for proof that love could survive on half of the truth. You found your ending, I stayed wrong. I should have left, but I stayed too long. There's a version of me that walked away before the damage, before the decay. But I loved you honest even when it hurt, and I paid the price for putting you first. I stayed too long, and I feel it now in the quiet moments when I break down. Some lessons come when the heart's gone numb. I should have left early, but I stayed too long. The clock kept moving. Now I finally do.
You packed your reason, I packed the silence. Your keys still rest on the counter, like you might come back tonight. I keep the lights a little dimmer, so the shadows feel right. You said it wasn't about me, said it wasn't about us, but you walked out with certainty, and I stay because I must. Some hearts don't chase the ending, they live inside the pause. I stayed when you left, in the rooms we used to be, quiet after midnight, where you still talk to me. You moved on with your life like it was easy, like it was true. I stayed when you left, still holding on to you.
Your name still fits my breathing, even when I try to change. Every street looks unfamiliar, but the ache feels the same. I tell myself I'm getting better, that I'm stronger than before, but strength feels overrated when your absence fills the floor. You learned how to let go, I learned how to remain.
I stayed when you left, when the door shuts off but final, when love turned into memory and memory turned to tidal. You found new skies to live under. I stayed with the truth. I stayed when you left, 'cause leaving was never something I knew. Maybe staying isn't weakness, maybe it's a different kind of brave. Maybe love doesn't always follow the rules we try to make.
If you ever look back wondering why I never moved on, it's because part of me believed you were only gone for a song. I stayed when you left, through the seasons, through the pain, through every almost healed night that still whispered your name. If loving you was the lesson, then this is what it taught me to do. I stayed when you left, still choosing you. You learned how to leave. I stayed and learned how to live with it.
We linger in the corner of a room we no longer share. I see your smile in the dark, a memory I can't escape. Every laugh, every tear leaves in the shadows you left. I reach for the warmth, but find only echoes of a love we knew.
And the pain that grows,
I try to move forward.
the shadows of us fill the night in my heart. I can't erase where we fell apart.
Every corner I turn, every whisper I hear, shadows of us are all that's near. The places we walked hold traces of your hand.
The songs we love play like ghosts in the sand. I wanted to hold you through all the storm,
But love became quiet and the shadows formed.
I fight the darkness,
But it knows your name.
the shadows of us fill the night in my heart. I can't erase where we fell apart.
Every corner I turn, every whisper I hear, shadows of us are all that's near. air got heavy and nothing moved. I felt the moment stretch too long, like time forgot where it was going. Every plan I held too tight started softly breaking open. The road stayed empty, the signs wore thin. I didn't stop, I just slowed within. I wasn't lost, I just didn't run. This is where hope slowed, not where it died. It took a breath and stepped aside. I didn't give up, I just let go. This is where hope slowed. The sky stayed gray but calm somehow, like it was learning how to wait. Every dream I chased before learned to walk instead of race. I listened more, I asked less. I carried pain but felt no threat. Some things heal when they move slow. This is where hope slowed, not where it died. It leaned against the passing time. I didn't fall, I didn't fold. This is where hope slowed. Maybe strength is staying still when everything says go. Maybe faith is quieter than I was taught to know. I didn't need a miracle, just space to breathe and time to be. This is where hope slowed and let me see that I'm still here, still incomplete. I didn't lose what I don't know, I just arrived where hope slowed. The road stayed open, so did I. Nothing moved, but I did. We didn't speak, the silence stood between us, like it knew the words would only make it worse. I watched your eyes look past me into nothing, and I learned how absence still can hurt. I could have left, but I remained. We didn't speak, but I stayed, held the moment while it frayed. I knew the end before it came. We didn't speak, but I stayed. The room felt small, though we were far apart. Every breath was careful not to break your heart. I traced the lines where love used to be loud. Now even hope wasn't allowed.
then stick around. I didn't fight, I didn't run, I stayed until it was done. We didn't speak, but I stayed. Loved you quietly, unafraid. Even when you looked away, we didn't speak, but I stayed. Nothing moved until I left. We used to float together. Now I'm alone in the tide. Your voice was the wind that guided my sails. Now it's gone, and I'm chasing trails. We held on to moments, but they slipped away. Every smile we shared feels further each day. I reach for you, but the distance grows. Drift apart like leaves on the stream, floating away from our shared dream. I tried to hold you, but you were too far. Now I'm just drifting while you follow your stars. I remember the laughter, the nights that we stayed, the warmth of your hand, the promises we made. Now shadows of memory fill the empty space. I see your reflection, but not your face. I call your name, and the echo fades. Drift apart like leaves on the street, floating away from our shared dream. I tried to hold you, but you were too far. We used to float together. Now I'm alone in the tide. The room is louder when you're gone. Even the walls hold their breath. You used to fill the empty moments with words I didn't have to ask for. Now we sit in borrowed quiet, counting cracks across the floor. Your eyes say more than your mouth does. Mine look down instead of through. We learned how not to say I'm fine, but never learned what else to do. There's a truth between us waiting, too heavy to release. If silence could speak, it would scream your name. Tell me everything we're afraid to say. It would break this calm, tear through the calm, and finally explain. We're standing so close, miles apart, letting quiet do the damage. We won't start. If silence could speak, it would tell the truth about us. We stopped finishing our sentences, started finishing alone. Every pause feels like a question neither heart wants to own. Your hand's still warm inside of mine, but something's slipping through. Love's not gone, it's just exhausted from pretending it's not bruised. I hear goodbye in every pause, even when you breathe. If silence could speak, it would call us out. Say we're losing what we won't talk about. It would shatter the peace we're trying to keep, wake us from this sleep. We don't fight, we don't fall apart. We just let the quiet take the hardest part. If silence could speak, it would sound like honesty. Maybe we're scared of what we lose, or scared of what we find. Maybe saying nothing feels safer than crossing the line. But love shouldn't live in the unsaid, in shadows and relief. Some wounds come from what was spoken, others from what never reached. If silence could speak, it would ask us why we're holding back with tears in our eyes. It would beg us to choose to stay or to leave. But at least believe. I don't need perfect, I don't need peace. I just need the truth to breathe. If silence could speak, it would finally set us free. Until then, we listen to the quiet, hoping it won't be the end. The room doesn't ask me anything tonight, and that feels new. I used to fill the silence with noise I couldn't keep. Every empty second felt too wide, too deep. I chased every distraction, every voice, every light, anything to keep me from being alone at night. exhausting when there's nowhere left to go. I'm learning to sit with the quiet, not to fix it, not to run. Let the stillness say my name when the day is done. I don't need the answers, I don't need the noise. I'm learning to sit with the quiet and hear my own voice. Your memory used to echo like a scream inside my head. Every thought a reminder of the things we never said. Now it hums a little softer, like it's losing its fight. Not gone, just resting in the middle of the night. I'm not healed, I'm just staying where I used to disappear. I'm learning to sit with the quiet, let it breathe, let it stay. Not every empty space needs filling right away. I don't reach for your shadow every time I feel alone. I'm learning to sit with the quiet, like it's finally my home. Maybe peace isn't happiness, maybe it's just not afraid. Maybe strength is staying still with the mess we never say. If you ever cross my mind, I won't push the thought away. I'll let it come and let it go, like quiet teaches me to stay. I'm learning to sit with the quiet, with my flaws, with my fear. Let the silence hold the truth I couldn't hear. I don't need to be distracted, I don't need to be strong. I'm learning to sit with the quiet until it feels like I belong. The room still doesn't ask me anything, and now neither do I.
You didn't break me loudly, you just let go slow. You packed your words in careful boxes, left the room just as it was. Said goodbye like it was mercy, like love had simply run its course. No slammed doors, no final fight, just a calm I couldn't read. You smiled like you were sparing me, but it felt unfinished, incomplete.
I wasn't shattered all at once, I was quietly undone.
You left me in soft pieces, nothing sharp, nothing loud, just fragments of a future scattered gently on the ground. I'm not bleeding, I'm not broken, I'm just learning how to breathe this. You didn't tear my heart apart, you left me in soft pieces.
Your side of the bed stays empty, but I still sleep halfway there. I reach for habits we don't need, like your name floating in the air. Friends ask how I'm mind still hurts this way.
You took the weight but left the shape. Now everything reminds me. You left me in soft pieces, like a letter never sent. All the words I didn't say still echo where you went. I'm not angry, I'm not hopeless, just quietly unfinished. You didn't tear my heart apart, you left me in soft pieces. Maybe this is how love ends sometimes, not in fire, not in flames, just a slow release of pressure till nothing feels the same. I don't hate you for the leaving, I just wish you'd stay long enough to tell me how to put myself back together after us. You left me in soft pieces, and I carry them each day, learning how to hold myself in a gentler way. I'll rebuild without the rush, I'll heal without your reasons. You didn't tear my heart apart, you left me in soft pieces. I'm still whole, I'm still whole, I'm still whole, just not the way I was before.
I wrote your name, then folded the page. I left the words unfinished on the edge of my mind, every sentence trembling, every truth left behind. I sealed the pain in envelopes I never let you read. All the things I wanted to say still waiting inside me. I thought silence would save me, but it only stayed. Letters that never sent, still screaming my chest. Every line I erased still knows you best. I held the truth in my hands, then let it bend. Letters that never sent are how this ends. Replay conversations that never took place. I imagine your reaction, your voice, your face. Maybe I was afraid of what you might say, or maybe I knew you were already walking away. Some words don't heal, they just wait. Letters that never sent, still screaming my chest. Every line I erased still knows you best. I held the truth in my hands, then let it bend. Letters that never sent are how this ends. If you ever lives quietly between regret and intent. Letters that never sent still live in my breath. Every truth unspoken, learned how to rest. I let you go without knowing what I meant. Letters that never sent are how this ends. I wrote your name, then folded the page.
City breathing through the cracks of the street. I'm just another shadow on repeat. Neon signs flicker like they know a secret. Every window tells a different life. I walk past reflections I don't recognize, trying to remember who I was tonight. Crowds move fast, nobody's looking down. I scream in silence under all this sound.
Every face is going somewhere else. I'm standing still, talking to myself.
I chase a feeling I can't explain, running circles in the pouring rain. The lights don't know my name, they just shine and look away. I'm wide awake in a sleepless place where nobody stays. I'm dancing with the flame, trying not to break the same. The lights don't know my name, but they know my pain.
Every song on the radio feels borrowed. Every smile costs a little more. I wear confidence like borrowed clothes, hanging loose, falling to the floor. I call home, but I don't say much. Words feel heavier than they touch. I thought I'd be someone by now, but the mirror doesn't make a sound.
I trace my steps on empty ground, looking for a place I haven't found. The lights don't know my name, they just glow and fade away. I'm wide awake in a restless place where dreams decay. I'm breathing in the rain, trying not to feel the same. The lights don't know my name, but they know my pain. If I disappear between these streets, dreaming that anyone notice me. I've been loud inside my head, but quiet in reality. Maybe I'm more than what I show, maybe this isn't all I'll be. But tonight I'm just a stranger to the city staring back at me. The lights don't know my name, they don't ask, they don't stay. I keep moving through the blur, trying to find my way. I won't always feel this lost, even if it feels the same. The lights don't know my name,
But someday they will change.
until then I keep walking on,
Learning who I am alone.
tried so hard to make it stay. We had the feeling, we had the spark, but something faded in the dark. You said forever, like it was true, but forever felt heavier.
The closer we grew, we held the truth.
Love wasn't enough to keep us alive. We had all the feeling, but none of the time.
We wanted the same, but not in the same way.
Love wasn't enough,
so we slipped away.
we learned each other inside and out.
But knowing someone doesn't cancel doubt.
You wanted peace, I wanted more. We kept standing on opposite shores. We tried to fix it with broken parts. Love wasn't enough to hold the line. We kept losing ourselves, just trying to try. No one to blame, no one to hate. Love wasn't enough to make us stay.
Maybe love is just the start, not the thing that sees it through. Maybe hearts need more than fire to survive what we put them through.
I don't regret the way we failed, just the lie that it would last.
Sometimes love is real, but still can't outrun the past.
Love wasn't enough, and that's the truth. We did our best, but it still fell through.
I'll always believe we became, but love wasn't enough to make us the same.
We didn't fail,
We just found the end.
we tried so hard to make it stay. We had the feeling, we had the spark, but something faded in the dark.
You said forever, like it was true, but forever felt heavier the closer we grew.
We held the dream but dropped the truth. Love wasn't enough to keep us alive.
We had all the feeling, but none of the time.
We wanted the same, but not in the same way. Love wasn't enough, so we slipped away.
Love wasn't enough,
So we slipped away. We learned each other inside and out, but knowing someone doesn't cancel doubt.
you wanted peace, I wanted more.
We kept standing on opposite shores. We tried to fix it with broken parts. Love wasn't enough just trying to try. No one to blame, no one to hate. Love wasn't enough to make us stay. Maybe love is just the start, not the thing that sees it through. Maybe hearts need more than fire to survive what we put them through. I don't regret the way we failed, just the lie that it would last. Sometimes love is real, but still can't outrun the past. Love wasn't enough, and that's the truth. We did our best, but it still fell through. I'll always believe what we became, but love wasn't enough to make us the same. We didn't fail, we just found the end. Flicker like they're whispering your name. Traffic comes slow, but my heartbeat ain't the same. It's past 1 and I'm walking where we used to meet. Every shadow on the pavement falls around my feet. You said forever like it was a quiet truth. Now I hear forever echoing the things I lose. I'm chasing memories like outlines in the dark. Your silhouette still burns behind my heart. Midnight on 5th Avenue, where I keep running into ghosts of you. Every neon sign turns your color blue, and I swear I can feel you moving through. Midnight on 5th Avenue, where our promises fall like morning dew. Wish I didn't miss the version of you I knew, but I do. Turning left where we once said goodbye, and the rain on my jacket feels like your soft side. Everyone's laughing somewhere far away, but your silence follows me like it wants to stay. I keep pretending I look up and see your face, but love's a city that time can't replace. Midnight on 5th Avenue, where I keep running into ghosts of you. Every neon sign turns your color blue, and I swear I can feel you moving through. Midnight on 5th Avenue, yeah, where our promises fall like morning dew. Wish I didn't miss the version of you I knew, but I do. If I close my eyes, I hear you laugh in the street, like you're right behind me, just skipping a beat. But the truth is softer than the city noise. Sometimes love disappears without a voice. Midnight on 5th Avenue, I keep running into ghosts of you. Every neon sign turns your color blue, and I swear I can feel you moving through. Midnight on 5th Avenue, where our promises fall like morning dew. Wish I didn't miss the version of you I knew, but I do. Street lights fading, night turning new. Still I'm chasing what I once had with you. Midnight on 5th Avenue. Midnight breathing through the glass. The city hums between us. We're standing in a
face on the wall, close enough to feel it all. There's neon between us, lighting up what we won't say. Every color pulls me closer, then pushes me away. I feel your heartbeat through the noise, lost in everything we were. We're glowing but we're fading, with neon between us. Taxi lights blur into gold, your hand almost finds my own. We pretend we're just passing by, like this moment doesn't matter tonight. Your smile breaks in electric blue, like it knows what we're about to lose. The louder that the city gets, the harder it is to forget. There's neon between us, lighting up what we won't say. Every color pulls me closer, then pushes me away. I feel your heartbeat through the noise, lost in everything we were. We're glowing but we're fading, with neon between us. If this is all we're gonna be, a flicker in the memory, and stay right here a little longer before the night decides for me. There's neon between us, like a sign we can't ignore. Every flash is a reminder of what we're afraid to want more. If love is just a moment, let this moment never rust. Even when the lights go out, there'll still be neon between us. When the city falls asleep, I'll still feel you in the neon between us.